Hello, my air sign loved ones, and welcome back to the Soulmate Journey Empath. This is a special reading that I've called Emerging from the Deep, that is designed to help us navigate out of some of this heavier energy that's been with us as a collective through Scorpio season, resolve any of the karmic cycles that have been presented to us, to close up with a retrograde happening, um, at the same time as the 1111 portal, Mars transit, Venus transit, um, later this month into the sign of Sagittarius. Obviously, Sun goes into Sagittarius, and we have the 1212 portal. That is the last portal of the year, the last portal of the decade. And so collectively, a lot of us have been presented with these loose ends that need tying up. And this has been incredibly heavy energy. So this reading is designed to guide you through completing those karmic cycles so that we can, with the World card here, embrace this transformation, embrace the closing of some chapters to be able to embrace the beginning of new. So in order to do that, there is surrender, release, recalibration, deep healing, transformation, crystallization, surfacing, and emergence that are going to be happening. And if you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting about this heavy energy, discussing it, and bringing up the whale as good animal medicine to invoke during this time as a spirit guide. And you may be asking, why the whale? Well, like human beings, the whale is a mammal, is an air-breathing mammal, but it spends its time at sea, in the ocean. And so the whale goes down to these depths, to the dark places with the high pressure where it's cold. But they eventually have to emerge so that they can breathe, so that they can survive. And for a lot of us, this has been very, very heavy energy. And I can't emphasize that enough. As a reader that has established my own spiritual community that involves members of my soul groups, as well as other readers, just those of you watching, and for those of you that are in communication with me, and even for readers that I follow, psychics, mediums, readers, astrologers that I follow, we are part of these collective energies too. And a lot of you may have noticed technical difficulties with the social media or YouTube of readers or guides that you rely on. And not just that, but we're all processing this heavy karmic energy as well. And so you may have noticed like a lull in our productivity, issues with channels. This is very common for Mercury retrograde, but in terms of those deep emotional depths that you've gone to, this is something that we're collectively going through because we need to, for our own healing, for our own growth, for our own soul evolution, and to get closer and closer to living in a state of soul consciousness. So I've really been pushing for the whale because, right, here's the whale. And as the whale emerges from these depths, from these, Scorpio is the natural ruler of the 8th house, which is deep emotions. And regardless of where your rising sign is and what house Scorpio is in for you, it takes us to an emotional depth, regardless of what other aspect of our lives that is being transformed, because Scorpionic energy comes in and transforms here. And so I've just really encouraged visualizations, meditations, where either you're swimming and you're coming up from deep water, or you can imagine yourself as a whale that is getting ready to surface. And as you go up from the depths, it gets lighter. There's more light coming through around you. You can see more clearly. The pressure on you is not as heavy, and your buoyancy takes over as you get to a certain point and you start to ascend faster. And then when the whale surfaces, the land where they're surfacing may look completely different from the land where they surfaced last time. The sky may look different. The air is different, okay? And so I think this is really powerful imagery. And at least I personally have been using this as guided imagery in my meditations to really imagine, to let go of that heavy energy and imagine what it would be like to just be able to detach, confront, release, and be able to rebuild. And so that's the purpose of this reading, my loved ones. And I'll just show you really quick. The way that my guides presented the information to me was by elements. And I do have specific information for each sign, which we will get into here. And I just want to let you know, my darling Geminis, Libras, Aquarians, and cross watchers, that the clock just struck 11:11 here as I am opening up. So I'm feeling really positive about the messages that I have for you. I have great stuff from my guides. I have some synesthetic messages for you, as well as a few from the Akashic records. So let's go ahead and dive in to those messages. First of all, I got a song for my air signs, and I would say this song's probably 14, 15 years old now. It's by an artist called Nelly Furtado, and the song is called All Good Things. And it talks about flames to dust, lovers to friends, why do all good things come to an end? And the reason why I'm getting this for you air signs is because I'm getting that a lot of you are getting synchronicities and signs, which are triggering reflection in you about previous situations, opportunities, relationships with people. And in this time of change, in this shift, especially for my fixed sign Aquarians, it's really common for us to go ahead and take a trip down memory lane, especially in this retrograde energy. A lot of us have people from our past coming back to us, and this is our way of being able to balance those karmic scales. If there were words that weren't exchanged between you and another person, you're getting the opportunity to clear the air. They're at least coming into peak. And this is probably no surprise, as many of you have had people pop in out of the blue, so to speak, during this retrograde energy. And there's a warning for my air signs, especially for my Libras, that this can cause you to reflect on the past, and you may have regret. And if you have regret about how things have gone in the past, you have angelic support. You have the support of your guides in really allowing yourself to process those feelings. But holding on to regret is not advised, because processing the regret is one thing, but you kind of have to release it, because there's nothing that can be done to change the past. But there may be some emotional, spiritual, or psychological resolution for you in addressing that. And so the warning, especially for Libra, is to not get caught up in a nostalgia of thinking that those were the good days or those were the better days, because those were just some days. I would venture that those were crucial days, crucial moments, but they're not the sunshine of your lifetime. It may seem like it now from kind of this heavy energy that we're in, but there is so much more to come. And what I'm getting to is for all of my air signs, that you may have friends, family, partners, children, other loved ones in your space, in your physical space, but there is something about you because of these emotional things that you're processing that has you feeling lonely and isolated. And because it has you feeling lonely and you're focusing on the positive or the woulda, coulda, shoulda, there is this apprehension to release things. And there's also something involved with the construction of your personal image. And so, especially for Scorpio rising or Libra rising placements, there's an apprehension to release some of these things because you see these experiences, these people, etc., as central to your self-image, as formative in terms of the person that you are today. And I would advise you to consider that while we are forged as a combination of our spirit, our free will, and our experiences, that maybe it's time for a newer, more updated image of you, projection of you to the world that is maybe more authentic with where you're at in your soul at this period of time. And so what I'm getting for all air signs is soul consciousness, heart consciousness, dreaming. I'm getting all of my air signs are in this heavy energy, but on the horizon, there's still this like, well, I have goals, I have dreams. And what I see coming in heavily for all of my air signs is this continued soul consciousness, continued heart consciousness. Soul group energy is also coming your way. If you have not aligned with many members of your soul group or quote unquote past life connections in your life, you're going to be lining up with them very easily as we transition through this energy. Sagittarius season is all about expansion. All right. It's Sag is ruled by Jupiter, and this is the planet of expansion. And that is why Sagittarius has these has a wanderlust, is philosophical. Okay, all of these beautiful Sagittarian qualities are coming in for all of us as Venus is getting ready to make a transit into Sagittarius. And with that, this expansion, this alignment with a soul group, evolution, outgrowing, those are the two words my guides gave me specifically for my air signs. So while this may be a rough period, this is let's just put it this way: the amount of personal growth, of spiritual growth, of soul growth, of emotional growth, of expansion of consciousness that is happening in just this short period of time that has been so heavy, you cannot conceive of until we get to January. You are not going to, one of the key words that I had was crystallization. That all of this will not have crystallized till about January. But all in all, for my air signs, it is looking pretty damn good. And I know that some of you are like, oh, thank you. Like, I need some good. This has been heavy. And it is very heavy energy. Regardless of your moon placement, as an air sign, you're given to contemplation, and you're in touch with your heart, but you try to stay practical. You try to stay intellectual about things in order to approach them in a reasonable manner. And this energy that we've been going through, my loved ones, has been very, very difficult to approach in what one would call a reasonable, logical manner. So again, this reading is going to look at what you need to detach, confront your chakras, what are out of balance, what you need to release, and what you need to know moving forward to rebuild. So please do check the timestamp in the description box below for your individual readings for the signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Hello, my Gemini loved ones. I am so excited to get into this reading because of the healing that is on the horizon for everyone. So I'm just going to jump right in and let's get started. So I'm going to go, you have 2 chakras that need attention, Gemini, and I'm going to go literally from the bottom up. So the first chakra that I'm seeing imbalanced for you is the base or root chakra. And this is probably one, Gemini in particular, this is probably the chakra that you find needing work most frequently. Just because of the intellectual energy that you have that is very active. You have mutable air energy. And so having things grounded in the day-to-day can be difficult. Because you like to be active energy, sometimes when the collective energy is kind of uncomfortable like this, what a Gemini will commonly do is just throw more activity at it. And sometimes that activity is getting you further and further away from being grounded. So what I'm getting is to definitely, for Gemini, be focusing on grounding, on throwing down a root through meditation, through spending time outside, through crystals, stones, through color work as well. And so if you are able to get your root chakra balanced, then you have a great solid foundation upon which the other chakras are supported. The next chakra that I'm getting out of alignment for my Geminis is the sacral chakra. This is your creative center. This is your divine feminine center, your center of empathy, of creativity, of passion, of expression of your passion. And there's a lot of creativity, but this chakra is not integrated as well as it needs to be. And it's probably connected to this base or root chakra that is out of alignment. So again, engaging in expressive things is definitely a good way of balancing out that divine feminine energy in the sacral chakra. Now, again, if you are a subscriber, you know that when I talk about masculine and feminine, I am talking about polarities of energy, of projective and receptive, right? And so the sex or gender of the individual doesn't really matter because all of us have these polarities of masculine and feminine with the sacral chakra, with the solar plexus chakra being masculine. And we all contain these polarities. So whether you identify as having a feminine sex or gender doesn't matter, because regardless of your sex or gender, I'm getting that divine feminine needs some more work. And so engaging in your creative expressive projects, having some stillness, having meaningful conversations with people that you care about. This is an empathic center. And for some of you, it is not functioning as effectively as it usually does because of that base chakra out of alignment supporting it. So those are the chakras that definitely could use some focus during this energy to help you prepare as we transition into Sag season, tie up the year, tie up the decade. So let's go ahead and get into tarot and see what are the things that you need to process karmically through this cycle. What does Gemini need to detach from? Wow, we have the Sun card. This is number 19, 1 and 9, adds to 10, completion of a cycle, or reduce it to 1. And this is a very difficult thing to let go of. The Sun represents joy, absolute joy, your day in the sun, recognition, clarity, happiness. There's a child usually pictured in the Sun card because the Sun energy is so positive and so safe, you can be childlike in it. And this is one of like the existential dilemmas for a Gemini, is how can you successfully keep your inner child integrated through adulthood so that you never lose that lust for life, that excitement that Gemini experiences with that beautiful childlike energy that you have. But what you're being asked to detach from is enjoying this childlike energy, but it has a shadow side, right? If you embrace childlike energy and go with it, there is the shadow side of that other people could view you as being childish. And what I'm getting, regardless of age, for my Gemini crowd, is there has been series of events this year where you may have still felt very, very childlike, very free, and there is maturing going on. And it's not to say that your inner child will not be able to still come out and play, will not be able to love fully, experience things fully, embrace experiences, people, and events. It's just knowing when and where to let the inner child come out to play. And it reminds me, it reminds me of the quote, which I can't remember verbatim, that was, when I was a child, I liked childish things. And it's not a negative connotation of childish. It's just there is something about you, Gemini, that through this energy, you are rapidly maturing. And it's not to say that you were childish, but you are becoming less childlike, if that makes any sense. All right. What does Gemini need to confront? We have the Three of Wands energy. This is fire energy. Three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in and confronting this situation, the shadow work involved with this. Is, are you really waiting for something? Or can you move past this 3 energy? Is what you've been waiting for worth it? Is who you've been waiting for worth it? Or are you still standing here looking to the horizon waiting for your ships to come in? And this is going to be different, a different circumstance in everyone's life. But there's kind of this, oh yeah, everything's going to be okay because this will happen eventually. But this isn't happening, and you're being asked to examine whatever you're waiting for and why it isn't coming through, why it isn't precipitating for you like it should yet. Why is Gemini's base chakra blocked or under integrated? We have the Strength card. This is number 8. And having strength in the sun here, this is kind of Leo energy. And what I'm getting is that Gemini, you have a deep wealth of inner strength that you don't give enough credit to. Where you think you might need somebody to come in here in this Three of Wands energy to help you, like that you're expecting things to change because of a collaborative energy. When you have the free will, you have the agency, you have this power and strength within you to manifest these things, to make these things happen, to have agency in your own life. And what I'm seeing with the confront here is waiting, maybe waiting for the right person, waiting for the right circumstances. But whatever it is that you are waiting for with this 3, with collaborating with somebody else, I'm getting this really strong message, especially Gemini. If you have a Leo placement in your chart, especially Leo rising or Leo moon, that you tend to have this idea that somebody else needs to be the catalyst to get you where you need to be. And you're being told, no, you have all of the strength inside of you. Excuse me. You have the tools inside of you. You just don't realize your own strength. If you can tame, this, if you can tame the tendency to just want to go when shit hits the fan, then you create this internal stability that anchors you, that gives you strength, that pulls in a root. And again, strength coming up under the base chakra. If the base chakra is out of alignment, the others may be working, but they're not working at their optimum. They need a good, strong foundation upon which to function. Why do we have a blockage in the sacral chakra? 5 of Swords. There have been a lot of conflicts, and what I'm getting for Gemini is like family conflicts. And this has affected your empathic center because your way of coping with it is just laying down the swords and walking away. Like, I'm not going to entertain these fights. I'm not going to get in these arguments. But it's very difficult when you've been dealing with people that you're in conflict with to really come from a place of empathy. And so what I'm picking up is definitely family energy, but it could be anybody. It could be coworkers, a friend group, even a partner. But if you're constantly in this energy of disagreement, of discord, of fighting, of having to defend your position, it shuts down your ability to empathize with others because it's just chaotic energy and it's beyond reason. When it gets to the 5 of Swords, it's no longer a conversation or a line of discussion that anything positive is going to come from. You just have to take a break. You just have to walk away from it in order to allow your energy to stabilize and the energy of the person or people that you're dealing with. What does Gemini need to release? Wow, and you have 2 cards. Well, there's betrayal, there's hurt, there's baggage that you're carrying with you. And part of this nostalgia that the air signs are going through is, for you, I think it's sort of Gemini, because you're like, oh, so-and-so, I just loved that we could blah, blah, blah together, but then they stuck this sword in my back. So-and-so understood me so well until they, so-and-so, blah, 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 until they, and then they. There's a lot of baggage, of hurt, of pain that this energy is giving you the opportunity to just let go of. And if you can shake loose heavy energy like that, my loved one, just do it. Just do it. You've got it. You have, if you're at the 10, you're ready for your clarity, for your Ace of Swords to come in. Pull the swords out of your back, dust yourself off because you're strong, and know when to walk away. Know when to walk away to avoid getting all of this hurt, all of this betrayal. And we have a couple 8s here for you. Here's the 8 of Pentacles, and this is about work. This is about your work ethic. And a really big message that I'm getting here for Gemini is there is something about your work ethic that is driving you to exhaustion. And you are being asked to look at, with this 8 of Pentacles, more methodical ways to approach your work so that you don't have this burnout. So that you're, consistently putting out something tangible. More earthy energy. And also, I'm getting relationships where people are not willing to put the work in, are just going to hurt you. Just let them go. Let them go. And that's not very easy advice, but right now with the soul consciousness that you're in, you feel it. You feel what connections in your life make you feel happy, foster this, make you feel strong, where you don't have to take a time out from someone because the energy or the conflict got too heavy. So this is coming into better alignment with yourself, Gemini, as well as coming into alignment with people who have more in common with you. And that's where this whole evolution and outgrowing is coming into play. And outgrowing, when I was a child, I did childish things, or I said childish things. Now that I'm an adult, that line of thinking. So spiritually, Gemini, you are growing up, and it's beautiful energy. It is absolutely beautiful to realize. And I think, and I'm getting growing up too, because Leo is indicative of young adulthood, of coming into your own. If Cancer is still your parents' child, Leo is, all right, well, here I am making it out on my own as my own person. And you have that energy adopted. So what does Gemini need to know to rebuild? Wow. And here's the Hermit energy, number 9. So after the 8s, here comes the 9. Okay, literally, when we're talking about growing up, we talk about, we just said Cancer is, you're still your parents' child. Excuse me. All right. So we have the Hermit. This is Virgo energy, number 9. And the thing that's really interesting about that is, here we were just talking about, if you look at the Zodiac as stages of life that you go through, Gemini is in childhood. Then you go to Cancer. It's more of a teenager, middle school, but they still need the parents. Leo is full-fledged out on your own. And you are in that Leo energy right now. The Hermit's coming in for you. Virgo energy is coming in for you. And this, again, soul evolution, soul growth, soul searching. The Hermit goes off in isolation, guided by the light from their soul. Their soul is lighting the way, showing them which way to go. And I tend to think of, Eight of Pentacles as also being a Virgo energy because it's very methodical, it's very practical, it's very mundane, it's in the day-to-day. So definitely moving into more introspective, more contemplative energy. And with this Hermit coming in, and you have confronting the Three of Swords, confronting your need for other people to have agency in your life. This is a collaborative energy that you're being asked to confront. This is an individual energy that you're being advised to carry forward after the divine has come in with this Tower moment to help you process all of this karma. So let's go ahead and get oracle messages to find out what karmic lesson is being learned with each of these placements. What is detaching teaching Gemini? What is detaching teaching Gemini? Okay. Wow. So there's your first three. Okay, let's go sacral chakra, release, rebuild. Sacral chakra, release. What is release teaching my Geminis? And what is the Tower teaching my Geminis? Oh my gosh, you have... I'm really excited about your messages, and I hope that you're going to be too. All right. Wow. What have we been talking about? Growth, leveling up, outgrowing things, evolution. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So detaching from childlike ways of engaging spirit. It doesn't mean cutting off from the joy. It doesn't mean cutting off from the unconditional love. It means cutting off from pretty much everything else that does not fit, that is childlike. What is the lesson with confronting? Purpose. I know what I am here to do. And while you may have this energy of always depending on others for support, for camaraderie, for companionship, even as a sounding board, a lot of Geminis are external processors, which means in talking about your feelings is how you process and make sense of them. You don't do it internally. And, purpose. You have your own individual soul mission, soul purpose, life purpose. And what I'm getting about this maturity is you've come into that recently, and you're being asked to confront your dependence on other people, because is that in alignment with your individual purpose? Base chakra, courage, right under the strength card. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So again, ground yourself, because this is, you have what it takes. I'm getting that a lot of you are looking to other people, and you don't realize the depth and the wealth of tools that you have to move forward at your disposal without anybody else being involved. You are dynamic, Gemini, and you don't realize that. But here again, courage, inner strength to face fear with confidence, staying grounded and realizing your own strength and your ability to stay grounded. With the sacral chakra, honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So some of you were picking up with your empathy that other people were being shady, that other people were being dishonest. And it hasn't been processed all the way yet. And so you're being asked, okay, well, I can hold myself to this expectation of honesty, and that is the agency I have over the situation. While I desire that from others, and in a perfect world, you could expect that. But that's not always the case. And so rather than dwelling on these relationships, these attachments where people have not been authentic and honest with you, and you've just learned how to put your swords down and walk away, the lesson here is you can't control the honesty of others. All you can do is be empathic, be honest, and speak your truth. Release. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. In terms of work ethic, Geminis are very, very productive, but they have a difficult time being consistently productive, consistently having like a tangible result, because there is so much creative and intellectual energy with a Gemini. Gemini is the type of person that will conceive of a project 7 ways from Sunday before they actually like sit down and type a word or pick up a tool or whatever it is that you do. You think about it, you conceptualize it first. And you're being to release this heavy baggage, but also release any expectations or concerns about being judged for you having your own unique way of being productive. It's no better or worse than anyone else's. It's just different. And again, judgment. Everyone has their own unique path, unique challenges. Unique path. You have started to identify, Gemini, just what that is for you. Wow. And this is the last lesson that you're learning is success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. After the Tower comes in, this hermit's an individual energy. If you can find unconditional love and foster it alone, you are not going to gravitate toward these situations anymore or be stuck there waiting for somebody else to come through, because you know the magic is in you. You know that you're capable of doing this. You've leveled up. You've leveled up. You're going into this Virgo energy. So regardless of your actual age, this is more about your soul growth, about where your soul is expanding, where your soul is growing. All right. So let's go ahead and get some final oracle messages from the Sacred Traveler and see what else can help you navigate these karmic cycles, process your lessons, and prepare you for the 12/12 portal, end of the year and the end of the decade. There's 1, 2, all right, so we have 2, my loved ones. Oh my God. And this is beautiful. This belongs next to the Hermit. Reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. And I want you to know, let's just look at the difference between these 2 cards. There is still light there. But when we go from Sun energy to the Hermit, there is more of an appreciation of the light rather than an expectation of it. And you bear your own light. And Spirit wants you to know that. Your light is shining brightly. You are not going to compromise who you are by this period of growth. You're actually coming into who you are here with that purpose, with that growth, and your promised success. And wow, the next message for you, wondrous universe, walk in beauty. So I think the big message here for you, Gemini, is while there is a lot of quote unquote spiritual maturing, emotional maturing going on, you may have this heavy feeling about what it's like to be more mature, to be more, to be older, to be, and you're being asked to consider the magic, the wonderment, because the only thing that is changing in your life, my darling loved ones, is your perspective and your frame of reference. All the beauty is all still there. All the light is all still there. You're just being asked to process these old ways of approaching the situation, learn your lessons from them so that you continue growing and evolving as the beautiful soul that you are. All right. So I hope that those messages resonated with you. Please don't forget to comment below and let me know what you thought, how this is working out for you. Please also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can hit the notification bell for updates on the newest content. If you like a more tarot-based experience with affirmations and pictures of myself, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I do weekly and weekend spreads over there. That information is in the description box, as well as where you can schedule a private reading with me. Also, with this heavy energy, if you would like some Reiki, Reiki is an energy exchange, so it's free. My email is in the description box below. And if you're seeking some Reiki to kind of help you balance, to get some energy while you're processing all of this, I would be more than happy to make a connection with you and send you some Reiki, all right? So until next time, my beautiful Gemini loved ones, I'm sending you lots and lots of healing, love, and light. Bye-bye. Hello, my Libra loved ones. Let's go ahead and get started with your reading. So, as I said in the collective messages, all air signs have an issue, a blockage with the sacral chakra. And what I'm picking up for you is not that it's affecting your empathy. What I'm picking up for Libra is you are blocked from expressing your desires, from going for what matters to you, what's important to you. You feel that there is some kind of obstacle to being able to go after what you really want. And that's what I'm picking up for you with this sacral chakra energy, is a suppression of your desires, a suppression of what you feel driven, inspired, or passionate about. And for you, Libra, I feel like a lot of you, this is in regard to relationships. Like, you don't feel like you're able to have who you want or go for who you want. And a lot of this reflective energy with regret, nostalgia, better days, loneliness, those better days that you are holding on to from the past, you're apprehensive to let go of because maybe you're not in contact with that person or those people anymore, and those memories are all you have left. And so you're really apprehensive to release. There's something about you that is still attached, that you're still holding on to. And that's coming out because for you in particular, Libra, I'm getting an imbalance in the heart chakra as well. And Libras typically have pretty healthy heart chakra energy, but for you, I'm getting that this is a reflective time about relationships past. And so you're feeling it in your heart. It's got you feeling a little out of alignment in that sacral chakra. And what I'm getting is your intuition, your empathy, for other people is good, but when it comes to being able to express yourself in a heartfelt, true, authentic way, you're feeling blocked from being able to do that at this time. So let's get into tarot, Libra, and look at what you need to detach from with your energy here in the Justice card. This is about karmic balancing. What do you need to detach from? With the Moon energy, what do you need to confront? Why are these chakras out of alignment? What do you need to release? And what do you need to know to rebuild moving forward? So, what does Libra need to detach from? Oh, here we go. Emotionally walking away. You cannot emotionally 100% walk away. I'm getting that some of you have adopted this strategy to cope with a hurt, a loss, or a disappointment in love. Okay, so to protect yourself, to protect your desires, to protect your heart, you just kind of walked away from it. You've been neglecting it. So you're being asked to detach from this idea that separating yourself from your feelings, that compartmentalizing is going to help you resolve this energy. Because part of the reason it's so difficult is because there are things that still need to be processed in order for you to really get those lessons that are going to help you grow and move forward. So detaching from this compartmentalization, detaching from detaching is essentially what I'm getting here, Libra, because it's causing you to block your heart chakra and you're not able to operate on this frequency of unconditional love, because where is your love for yourself? And that's a rhetorical question. Your love for others is very clear to you. Your love for yourself, not so much. And my Libra loved ones, your beautiful egalitarian sign of harmonious partnerships, Libras are always seeking that balance through another. And so if you have invested a lot of time, you're all yourself, like lost yourself in relationships in the past, it's really taking its toll on you. Scorpio is kicking up those feelings. And Scorpio is some pretty heavy energy for Libra. And so you're going to emotional depths that are very uncomfortable for you to go to. And you're being asked to go ahead and plunge in and go there, because this compartmentalizing, this shutting yourself off is not serving you. What does Libra need to confront? Wow. And here we have nostalgia, better days, reflection, regret. Reflection is a big thing here with the Six of Cups energy. The past, nostalgia. And so there's a reason why you're in this nostalgic energy. There's something about a truth about this past situation or these past situations that you have not confronted yet. And for a lot of you, I'm getting that, like, there may be one connection above all of them that is just really putting you through the ringer because you thought that was your soulmate, your life partner, and it didn't work out. And what it has left behind, the consequence, your way of processing this feeling of failure, this feeling of loss, regret, and disappointment, is this walking away energy of just closing yourself off in general. All right. Why do we have a blockage in the sacral chakra for Libra? Yeah, not being opened up. The Fool is all about trust. This is Aries or Gemini energy. This is all about just arms wide open. Like, let's go. Let's go. Come what may, I am ready. I embrace it. So again, there's some there's some embracing, there's some accepting, there's some processing that really, really needs to be done on a deep, deep level, Libra, when it comes to the way that you engage in relationships. And I'm getting romantic relationships very heavily for you, Libra. Why is the heart chakra blocked? The World card. Again, we have the World up here as one of the significator cards for this reading. And so this is about closing out a chapter and starting a new one. You closed your heart when you closed that chapter, but it's time for you to start a new one. It's time for you to open that heart again, because everything that is stripped away from us, okay, is with the Tower energy, is designed to kickstart our growth and to have our growth happen in a much quicker, more meaningful way. So, you know, you have the heart blocked because of this situation, maybe disallowing that person to have an effect over your heart is something that you feel like you need to do, but you have to let others in. Libra, you are not made to be an island. Your energy seeks its complement, seeks its balance at all times in the energies of the people that you surround yourself with. All right. And you are not embracing your own soul's need, desire for harmony and balance if you are not finding these things in yourself first before looking for them in the relationships around you. So, big message here that you can't get out of this past energy until you're willing to open your heart to the new energy that is coming in. But there's some processing that has to be done here. And a big question that you may ask yourself is, why have I compartmentalized this? And probably the quick short answer is because it was so painful. So painful that you just felt like you couldn't. But because you have just walked away from it, you haven't tied up the karmic lesson. So what does Libra need to release? What does Libra need to release? Here we go, collaborative energy. 3 of Pentacles is about partnerships. Release this expectation that you need someone else. You are whole. You are dynamic. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are perceptive. You are intelligent. You are compassionate. You are beautiful, Libra. Release this expectation that you need a mirror in somebody else in order to feel that way. And what does Libra need to know as they rebuild from the Tower? Oh my gosh, this message is so clear. This is so clear for you, Libra. We have the 9 of Pentacles energy. This is Virgo energy. This is a solitary energy. And the 3 of Pentacles is collaborative. What you need to know rebuilding with this 9 of Pentacles energy is that you are healthy, you are vital, you are capable, and you can flourish in your independence. And my guides are telling me right now, and I'll just tell you verbatim. Libra, you have to recognize your own capabilities, your own inherent value, and set the bar for that, or no one else is going to recognize it. You have to set this boundary for yourself in order for others to see it, recognize it, and respect it. And there is so much with the Fool energy and this 9 of Pentacles. There is so much hope. There is so much prosperity. And There is the satisfaction here with this Nine of Pentacles energy that I can do it on my own. I don't need anybody else. I would like somebody else. I would like someone to share it with, but I don't need someone else as a mirror, as a reflection of me, for me to be healthy, me to be beautiful, and me to feel whole. So, excuse me. Let's go ahead and get into oracle messages to find out which karmic lesson is being learned every step along the way. Detach. What is Libra learning with detaching? What is Libra learning with detaching? What is Libra learning with confronting? All right. What is Libra learning with the sacral chakra? What's Libra learning with the sacral chakra here? Whoa, we had a bunch. We had a bunch. Let's see here. That goes there. That goes there. And this goes here. All right, so we have your lessons, Libra. And from the two that I saw, I'm really excited because they're really crystallizing these messages for you, and I really hope that they resonate. All right, the lesson you're learning in this Eight of Cups energy, detach. For some of you, this other person may have walked away from you emotionally. And if you have been in that feeling of rejection, you're being asked to release yourself from it. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So, you know, if you have not processed these lessons, these are the two areas that tend to be the most affected in loving relationships. These are the chakras that typically, like post breakup, are out of alignment for a lot of people. And there's no time limit on this breakup. If you've had a significant karmic relationship, it doesn't matter how long ago it happened. Those are still significant. Those lessons are still significant. And if you haven't finished processing them, or you're holding on to resentment, then it's still weighing you down and you can't free yourself and heal and let it go. And with this orange coming in with the sacral chakra, forgiveness is really going to help you open up that chakra and integrate it with your others. With confront, wow, here we have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So for some of you, you're afraid that this person was your only one and you're never going to find that again. And that's why you can't let go, because no matter what went bad, you're so focused on, well, I miss this, I miss that, they were this, they did that. And it meant so much to you that, you know, regardless of what's transpired since then, in your heart, and even the things that you don't want to actively process in your heart space, you know, a lot of times we push those down into the sacral chakra. They manifest as lower back pain, hip pain, sometimes kidney issues, and kidneys are the part of the body that you do rule, Libra. So lower back pain, as tension from holding on to heavy emotional shit. And you may have this, sorry about that with my puppies. And I think they were just barking like, yes, yes. But we hold these things deep in our sacral chakra because we don't want to deal with them, and they end up complicating themselves. And we're so scared of peeking at those feelings, of processing those feelings out of fear of how heavy they're going to be. And I'll just share with you really quick a little story that ties into me. So if you follow the channel, my generational planets are very Libra dominant, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. And so I pick up onto Libra energy very easily. I have several friends that are Libras. I have former romantic partners that are Libras. And I feel like I kind of have a pretty good understanding of collective Libra energy. But I'll tell you that during this Mercury retrograde season, I had buried some old feelings, like 15 to 20-year-old feelings. And I'd moved on with my life, and I thought, okay, my head's in a different place. My heart has been in a different place. And then this person that I had felt so hurt by, when I looked back on my life, I was like, well, that was the one that got away. You know, they just did this coup d'etat on my mind, on my heart, on my soul. And they moved on and started their happily ever after we had been together. And I was just like, you know, that sucks. But in my younger, more resentful self, I said, but, you know, karma's going to be a bitch for this person because they didn't make the right choice. And this person came back to me in Mercury retrograde, and we hadn't spoken in 15 years. And this person came back just to break the ice, to process some of these things. And I went through a nadir. I mean, this year, my mother passed away, and I thought, gosh, like nothing worse could happen than that, you know, because we were so close and I loved her so very much, and she passed in March. But I had been avoiding dealing with the depth in my sacral chakra, in my solar plexus, in my heart, of how this connection had affected me. And what does retrograde do? Oh, you haven't dealt with that yet? Well, let's go ahead and shake that loose so you can process that lesson. And if it was not for resolving some of that, like, I was so apprehensive to address that energy because I thought, oh, I will just fall apart. I will go back to feeling worthless and rejected and all of those feelings just all over again. And I don't think I can handle it. And the craziest thing was when this person and I spoke our piece to each other and resolved that issue from the past and just kind of cleared the karma. And I allowed myself to feel those feelings that I was so scared of for 15 years. I had 2 days of malaise where, rather than recording readings because my energy was low, I binge watched streaming television, and I stayed in my pajamas. Well, in 16 years, if I only had 2 days where I wasn't full on depressed, I was just kind of, why was I scared for 16 years to deal with that energy? And this is what I'll tell you. The fear of getting into how this relationship affected you is way, way bigger than those feelings that you're going to feel. They're no less authentic. Your feelings are no less authentic. They're no less meaningful, but they're not as scary as you think they are. And that's the risk that we all run when we force things down because we don't want to feel it in our heart, and we shove it down into that sacral chakra. So, and the other thing that I'll just tell you about that story before we get back here is that there's a reason it took 16 years for this person to come back around, because they came to the end of their karmic cycle, and boy, did they get, you know, younger me would have been happy, like, ha ha ha, you got yours. I knew that you would. I knew you'd come back. But me, where I'm at now, awakened me, ascending me, me trying to live in a place of love. I didn't have any personal feelings of satisfaction about it. It didn't make me want to run back to this person or entertain some idea that we could rekindle the past, but it allowed me to process those things so that I could go forward and not carry that heavy weight, not be blocked from pursuing what I'm driven to, what I have desire for, not being blocked on expressing my sexual desires or my emotions, because those were things that I had done to protect myself from experiencing the feelings, from processing the feelings of this connection. All right. So just a little bit, I hope that that helps you, darlings, because that's what I'm here to do, is to try to help you. And if some of my experiences can give you insight, perspective, or give you hope, I'm more than happy to share them with you. So the karmic lesson that you're learning with the Fool is freedom. With the sacral chakra, freeing yourself. Like I just talked about, I freed myself. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. I love that. My own happiness. You do. You have all the tools, Libra, in yourself, by yourself. You have it all. With the heart chakra, judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So this is you learning better judgment. Better judgment going forward instead of blocking out your heart. Having the vision to look back over the situation, look back over this old chapter with new eyes and glean something new from it. There's a reason you've been avoiding processing it. And with all this energy coming in right now in Scorpio season, the divine is lining everything up for you to be able to learn these lessons so that you can release yourself and move forward. And again, everyone has their own unique path and challenges. In retrospect, when I was talking to this person, they had been through some things that were very hard that I would have never imagined. And everyone processes things differently. Everyone's at a different place. And so you need to realize you can open your heart to start this new chapter. Just take the lessons that you've learned and add them to your discernment. Release. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So any failed relationships, don't chalk it up to, well, all people are this, or, you know, relationships aren't for me. Libra, that is just not your nature. That is not in your nature. You're always looking for complementary energy, but understand that we all make mistakes, but the mistakes are put out as karmic lessons. It's an opportunity for you to grow and learn, even if it's uncomfortable. And that's the thing about failure, is it's uncomfortable. And you have been avoiding the uncomfortable. Embrace it, learn from it, add it to your judgment. And last but not least, service. I feel good when I can help others. And you do, Libras. Libras are so very charming, social, charismatic. And you do have a service centered heart, a service centered focus. And you're very devoted and attentive romantic partners. But the message I'm getting with this is you're getting sucked dry by not putting on, what do they say on the flight? You know, before assisting other passengers, make sure your own oxygen mask is safely secured. This is a message as you go forward, Libra, to make sure you have your own oxygen mask on first before going to help other people, or you're going to feel depleted. And there's a lot of solar plexus energy coming in here. So what I'm getting is we're moving out of this sacral chakra old stuff that needs to be the forgiveness, the denial. Let that shit go. Speak your truth in freedom. Come to this crown chakra place of judgment. Accept failure in your heart through the frequency of unconditional love, and during Sag season and into this next year, I'm really seeing Libra getting restored confidence with all this solar plexus chakra energy here. And this is amazing energy. This is probably one of the most daunting energies for a Libra to think of. But if you are willing to take these steps and realize this is the next part of the path for you, what comes after the 9 of Pentacles? The 10. After you get through this step of creating your happiness on your own, then you are ready to share it with someone else in a stable, committed, and long-term type of way. So let's go ahead and close out your reading, excuse me, with some oracle messages. All right. What messages do we have for Libra that will help them wrap up these karmic lessons and navigate this energy moving forward? And I have 2 for you, my loved ones. Wow. Okay. Here's the first one. Wandering path. Enjoy the journey. So I think that really goes on to this release. Failure. Okay. Failure is part of the journey. It's designed there for a purpose, for your personal growth. And you may look at the situation and be like, well, why can't it be more simple? Why can't it just come together? It seems like for other people, it just comes together. But then again, judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Everyone is not living a Disney fairy tale or a rom-com. Everybody is there in the day-to-day at their own pace with their own lessons, doing the very best that they can. So with this judgment, do not hold yourself up to some standard that you have created for how your life should look, how your life should be, how you're valid through a mirror of other people. And enjoy the journey. It is your journey. It may be a wandering path, but there's a reason, because there are all these lessons that are just for you, designed along the way. And I love this as our closing message. Journey by moonlight. Believe in magic. And this is so true. Libra, you have the magic in you. You don't need anyone else. We don't want to need others. We want to share with them, and coming from a place of unconditional love. So this involves releasing attachments. And through law of attraction, when you let go of these feelings, they're not going to stick around and burden you down. And when you release these heavier feelings, you make room for new things, new experiences, and new people to come in. So a big message here about healing past relationships, Libra. And I just hope that you know that you are a beautiful, dynamic, caring, compassionate, fair, just, and lovable soul. All right. So I hope that those messages resonated with you. Please comment below and let me know how this resonated or what's going on in your own life during this energy. You can also like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little notification bell for alerts on the newest uploaded content. You can follow me on Instagram, where I do offer additional content that is different from the YouTube channel. Got a great community out there. It's growing, and I'm so very thankful for it. If you are interested in an energy exchange and receiving Reiki to help with balancing during this energy as you're processing these lessons, getting ready to go into Sag season, please email me. Reiki is free. It's an energy exchange. And I would be more than happy to send you some Reiki and healing, love, and light to help you on this journey. All right. Also, if you would like to schedule a personal reading, that information, as well as the decks used today, are all found in the description box below. So until next time, my beautiful, lovely Libra loved ones, I am sending you so much healing, love, and light. Bye-bye. Hello, my Aquarius loved ones. I'm really excited to get into this reading. So let's just go ahead. And as I'm doing that, I want you to know that my clock is reading 1:11 p.m. So divine guidance, I'm getting divine guidance for you, definitely moving through this really heavy energy. So Aquarius, you may not feel like it because you have been through so much. For Aquarians in particular, the Tower has come in so many times this year. That just as you start to get your footing again, then it comes in again, it comes in again. And so you feel like you haven't been able to really construct a solid foundation because there have been so many Tower moments. And what I'm getting for you is that this is affecting your sacral chakra. It's throwing you off balance. And all of this turbulent activity has been happening in the 3D as well as in the emotional body. And so this has affected your creative output, your productivity, empathy. I'm not getting that so much with you, Aquarius. I'm just getting you feel blocked from being able to manifest your desires, to act upon your inspirations during this energy. And there's a reason for it, because in order for you to move forward, you have to make room by addressing and processing some of these things that have been kicked up in Scorpio season, and really processing them so that you can heal and move forward. And with sacral chakra coming up, a lot of old wounds, the scabs have been picked off by this Scorpio energy, and you are getting in touch with and feeling things that you thought you were done and over with. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up in terms of your chakras. All right, Aquarius. So for this specific reading, we're going to look at what you need to detach from, what you need to confront. This chakra is out of balance. We're going to look into why. We're going to look into what you need to release and what you need to know moving forward as you are rebuilding. So let's go ahead and get some tarot and get right into it, Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to detach from? First out, here we have the Devil card. This is Capricorn energy. This is detaching from karmic bonds. Literally, karmic bonds with this chain here. And, you know, there's a lot of talk about cord cutting. The truth of the matter is, if you do have a soul tie, a soul cord connecting you and another person, you'll end up coming back around even if a cord is cut. But there may be some attachments that you're holding on to that have been very painful or very toxic, that it's been difficult to let yourself go from. And if you were wondering whether or not now is the time to move on, release yourself and move forward, Aquarius, now is the time. And my dogs second that notion as they just started getting active out of nowhere. Let me take care of them here just a second. All right, puppies are stayed. So if you have been looking for a sign that it is safe, that it's the right time to release something and move on, why carry it with you? So here's your sign. If you've been feeling bound to something and questioned whether or not it's toxic, whether or not it's holding you back, the divine wants you to know that you're right. Your intuition is correct. And you have to detach yourself from these old situations and old people through processing and release. And so for some of you, Aquarius, the depth of toxicity in these connections does require a cord cutting. And if you're not sure how to do that, I have developed my own method for doing it. And it involves essentially writing a letter to this person where you say everything you feel, where, you know, You're not concerned about putting your insecurities out there, your anger, your frustration, especially if you have resentment, anger, and frustration. You put those intentions out there on the paper and you release them. You write, excuse me. Anyway, sorry about that. Throat chakra is starting to affect me. It was just fine before we started. So I'm actually going to add that to your chakras that are out of balance, because I'm getting that for you. Like every time that I have something relatively meaningful to say, I get a frog in my throat. And like, as an empath and as a medium, physically, I'm feeling some of what Aquarius is feeling. And some of you may have like a cold or like a sinus infection, respiratory infection, something, but like breathing and speaking is making me cough. And I wasn't really, occasionally I'll have that because I live in an area where the humidity is pretty low. And I'm sensitive with allergies. So you'll hear me, with a little dry cough time to time, but I was like, oh my gosh. So we're going to add that throat chakra. All right, back to the situation at hand, cord cutting. What I do is I go ahead and I write a letter to the person and I just put it all out there, as long as it takes, whatever I need to say. And if you get to the point where you kind of stop as you're writing this letter and you can't think of what else to say, then the letter's done. And what you want to do is take this letter, if you have a fire bowl, even a small charcoal grill, a chimney, a fireplace, whatever you have that is a safe place, you go ahead and you burn this with salt, with sea salt, purify it, purify yourself, cleanse yourself when it's done. And you can throw some sage onto that fire too to clear the energies and clear the air. And by putting those intentions out there, and you have to use I statements. I release, my codependency on you. I release my lust for you. I release my need for your approval. I release, and they're I release statements. Okay. So for some of you, cord cutting is going to be essential to clear your energy of this person or this circumstance, so that it's not weighing you down moving forward. And so this coming out underneath the Libra card of justice for detached, this is huge about letting go of these karmic cycles. You can let them go. They've run their course. In terms of how they've played out in your life. Now the processing is up to you. And for a lot of you, I'm getting what needs to be cut out. You've already processed, but it's still lingering in your energy. And so participating in a clearing, in a cord cutting, is going to help you clear and restore balance to your own energetic field, to your chakras, to your auric field, so that you are only filtering things of a higher frequency. What does Aquarius need to confront? And you have two. We have the King of Pentacles, earth energy here, masculine earth energy, as well as the Five of Swords, which is air energy. It's about fighting and conflict. For some of you, this could be issues with a father figure. I tend to think of the King of Pentacles as a father. Stable, mature, wise, grounded. In the reverse, this person can be very judgmental, very withholding of things. And what I'm getting is confronting lessons. This could have been a romantic partner or a father, or even a friend that you had a very difficult emotional relationship with. But whoever this earth sign person is, there is some confronting of the dynamic, of the relationship dynamic that you had with this person that set the stage for conflict, And it's also something, for some of you, It may be very difficult if this is a romantic partner, a former romantic partner, or a father figure, because you feel very bound to those attachments, especially if it's a father figure. You have to confront that this connection, and I also want to point out that's Capricorn energy, could be a Capricorn or a Taurus here with the bull, but that this dynamic devolves into conflict, into people who just cannot see eye to eye. Completely different, opposing but equal energies. And for some of you, I'm getting that this is Taurus energy, as Taurus is a fixed sign, and so are you. And so we have two fixed signs of different elements, and we have two very equally stubborn people that have a difficult time understanding where the other is coming from. And for you, Aquarius, that's difficult because you have a very expansive outlook. And so someone who is very earthy, very rigid, very stubborn, stuck in their ways is naturally at odds, at conflict with who you are on a soul level. So you're being asked to confront some reality about this connection. And, we'll see what the karmic lesson is here as we get further into it. But I'm getting something along the lines of, let's agree to disagree, because we cannot force each other to the same perspective. I cannot force you to see what I see or the way that I see things, and you cannot force me, because we're just different. Our experience is different. Our consciousness is different. Our souls are different. There's something to be learned here. There's a huge lesson here with this heavy energy, with this 5 of Swords of like, you know what, I'm done fighting. I'm just going to lay down my swords and walk away. And sometimes that's the best way to handle the situation when you're at an impasse. So there is something that you have to confront about this dynamic with the King of Pentacles energy. Why is the sacral chakra out of balance for my Aquarius? Ooh. Okay, so we had the sun come in reverse, and here we have the 7 of Pentacles, earth energy. Part of you has been waiting for things to get better again, because I know for Aquarius, the Tower has come in so many times this year. And you'll start, tending to what you have and waiting for the sun to come in, for this peace, for this lighter energy. But it's not coming, and you feel like you're waiting for it. But there's something blocked is why it's not coming. There's something blocked in your energetic field that is a consequence of this soul contract that you had with this person. And until you have processed the lessons, that sun is not going to come in right side up. And what I'm getting for some of you, if this was a romantic partner or a father figure, the sun is also about recognition and validation. And it's got a child in it because children need lots of validation, lots of support. And so for some of you, this could be a father figure or a fatherly dynamic in a relationship. Or this could be issues that stem back to a paternal relationship with a father that have manifested, they're unresolved, they've manifested repeatedly in interpersonal relationships. So you may have been waiting for somebody else to fill your cup, and you just didn't get what you were looking for. That moment in the sun, that feeling of ultimate safety, of security. I'm getting that you kept waiting to feel secure in this connection, and it just never felt secure. And part of it is because of these people that are very, very different, that come from very different perspectives. And I get that this King of Pentacles, this earthy energy, is the one that has been very stubborn, unyielding, and uncompromising. So why do we have some blockage with the throat chakra? And again, here's the card of waiting with this Three of Wands, and threes are about collaborative energy. And what I'm getting for you is you have been waiting for this other person to come and say something to you first. There's waiting for communication from this person, for something to somehow be made right. But the longer that you're holding in that truth, the harder it is for you to speak. Because the longer you're holding on to it, you're second guessing it, you're analyzing it, Aquarius, and wondering if it's still a good idea. So big message here is that you do not have to wait to speak your truth, to stand in your truth. It is not contingent on other people speaking their truth or acknowledging things. It's something that you have to live in as part of your soul consciousness. What is Aquarius needing to release? Judgment. This is going to resonate two different ways for two different groups of people. For one group of people, you're being asked to release an expectation of reconciliation with this person. You cannot reconcile with a devil energy. It's very obstinate. It's uncompromising. And I'm getting that here, the uncompromising energy with this King of Pentacles, Five of Swords that you needed to confront. Uncompromising. You know, there's someone who wasn't even giving you the acknowledgement or the validation that you emotionally needed. And then here you are waiting for this person. Well, waiting for reconciliation, waiting for them to make the move. For that group of people, you're being told, just release it. Whether or not this person comes to their senses about the situation and makes conciliatory gestures against you or toward you has no bearing on your own growth, your own soul evolution. That is theirs. For others, you're really concerned about the judgment of other people, and it contributes to your inability to go ahead and speak up in your truth about the situation. Especially if this is a family dynamic situation where there has been some issues with a father figure, you can be very concerned because look, this is a family right here. Mother, child, father. You could be concerned about your relationships with other members of the family based on any decisions you make about cord cutting that connection, or at least severing yourself from the toxic energy that has been left behind by that connection. But you're being asked to just have faith and just let it go. And if you are meant to reconcile with this person through law of attraction, if you're holding out for it and obsessing over it, you are repelling it rather than drawing it in through magnetism. And so if you release it and your desire is for it to come back, you're more likely for it to be able to come back for you. And for others, it's just speaking your soul truth, regardless of what anybody else has to say about it, regardless of what anyone else thinks. And this is scorpionic energy as well. There's a lot of scorpionic energy here. So what is the lesson of the season? That in order to process this and let it go, you have to care only about how this is going to affect you. And if you have children, maybe how it will affect the children. That could be difficult if you yourself are a parent and this has been a problematic dynamic with a father in your family, because you are concerned about the potential of, well, if I put healthy distance between myself and this person, how is everyone else in the family going to think? Am I keeping the child from the father, keeping the child from the grandfather? You know, I don't want to be judged for doing that because I'm just trying to do what's best and healthiest. You're being asked to let go of that concern. And what does Aquarius need to know to rebuild? And you have 2 cards. Oh my gosh. You've got the 10 of Cups here. So in this 4 of Cups energy that comes first, so you're kind of regaining your emotional stability. And you're being encouraged to be wary if there are offers that are precipitating out of the blue, you know, here just dropping out of the sky that you're not expecting. You're being cautioned. Where is this coming from? Why is it coming in? And how can it serve my highest good? So one of the other things that I'm getting is if you have been hurt and you've gotten to the point where you're like, thanks, but no thanks, that does not preclude you from getting to this 10 of Cups, from getting to this ultimate happiness. And if this is a family issue, you know, 10 of Cups is about happy family. So there will be that happiness. There will be that unity. There will be that harmony and joy. There will be the deepest fulfillment of your wishes. But be discerning about what you're letting into your energy right now. Especially if you're waiting on this person, you know, to get into contact with you. And you're just kind of stuck here because you're still waiting. And you think that in order to process this and move on, this person, that you have to have a dialogue with them directly. Not necessarily true. You're being asked to let go of that in order to move forward, because essentially here you are being promised the 10 of Cups, Aquarius. It's coming for you. All of these tower moments have just come in to clear everything that is an obstacle to you attaining your 10 of Cups, my darlings. So let's get some oracle messages and we'll look at what karmic lesson is being learned each step along the way. What lesson is Aquarius learning with detaching? What lesson is Aquarius learning with confronting? What lesson is Aquarius learning with the sacral chakra? What lesson is Aquarius learning with the throat chakra? Wow. I just cannot. Okay, the other cards came out. It's the perfect number. The messages are perfect. Like, you'll hear me say this a lot. Like, oh my God, I can't make this up. And it's just really beautiful when these messages, when the tarot, when the oracle comes together with these intuitive messages, because those are my guides coming through, that spirit coming through, just really letting me know that these messages are meant for you. So that makes me so very excited. Let's go ahead and get into these karmic lessons so that you can process all of this heavy energy, my beautiful Aquarians, and get back to that balance in yourself, that happiness, that security in yourself, so that you can spread your beautiful, intellectual, and expansive energy for the collective of mankind. So the first out, and here we have sacral chakra energy, guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. If you have guilt about this relationship and how it turned out, whether it's your father, a husband, a brother, but this is masculine energy. This is a relationship with a masculine, whether you're masculine or feminine. You're carrying guilt in this situation, and guilt is one of those low vibing, heavy devil energies. And so you're being asked to release yourself from any feelings of guilt that you have, because that's holding you back. Any beliefs that this person projected onto you is holding you back from your soul growth. And And it's time for you to engage in some soul retrieval here. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So sacral chakra is going to come into balance. I'm getting for a lot of you with this cord cutting. And the sacral chakra is being creative as well. It's having an outlet, a creative outlet for your feelings, for your words, for your, you know, it's really, really deep transformative healing in the divine feminine. And because it's healing the divine feminine, it's, you know, I embrace what this is, what this was, and what will be for me moving forward. This is not my life. This was a lesson in my life. And in this confront, trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Here we go back to intuition. And you're being asked to trust that this feeling that you needed to lay down your swords and walk away was the right choice. It was the right choice. Purple here. It was divinely guided. Your soul told you what you needed to do. And you have done the right thing. So trust that you have and release those feelings of guilt about it. Wow. So here we go. Pride, sacral chakra. This person in pride coming in under the sun is a card of Leo. We think of the solar plexus with Leo as well as the heart. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. This person may have not loved you in the way that you were looking for, and it deeply affected the way that you perceive yourself. And you're being asked to take some pride in yourself, who you are, and see that you're infinite and loving and beautiful, and you deserve love, whether someone tells you that you do or not. You need to know deep down. Practice that unconditional love with yourself, which is the hardest part of processing things when you've been through a very heavy karmic relationship, because it challenges us on the heart level, in the heart, just in almost all the chakras, but especially in our heart, our solar plexus, and our sacral chakra. Okay, those are our masculine and feminine centers. And then the heart. For the throat chakra, here you have relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So the message here is like, you may have been waiting around for people that just are not for you. There were lessons to be learned, but they're not people that you're carrying forward. And you're looking to the horizon. Don't look to the horizon waiting for someone from the past to come catch up with you. Look to the horizon to see what is ahead, to align yourself with your soul group, with these heartfelt soul connections that your awakened self is being drawn to that serve your higher good. And look under judgment, there's judgment again. And I just knew this damn oracle card was going to come up. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So, you know, don't come from a place of judgment about this person. Come from a place of release. And don't be so concerned about the judgment that other people have on you, because you are the one who has been through all these tower moments, all this turmoil, all this upheaval in your life. And it is meant for you specifically because you have your own path and it's not the same as others. So don't judge yourself by these other people's standards, especially you, Aquarius. You are the original. You are so original. There is no one else like you. Even if you meet other Aquarians, like, you're a one of a kind. Each Aquarius is a novelty. And I don't mean that as in, oh, you're novel, but you're maverick, you're unique, you think differently, you see the world differently, you have different creative ideas than everyone else that really set you apart in the crowd. So if that's just who you are, You know, it's easier said than done, especially if this is a father dynamic, to release a sense of judgment. But ultimately, those relationships, those people in our families are in our lives for a reason. And this may have been a very difficult karmic lesson that this person signed up to teach you. And while it may not feel like it came from a place of love, just know that before this incarnation, when the souls were still getting ready to be reincarnated in this experience, that this was something that you and this person contracted to do, to teach one another. And last but not least, the karmic lesson that you're looking at with this rebuild tower energy, scorpionic energy, death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So yes, and they definitely are merely beginnings, because you may find yourself at the Four of Cups, but Spirit wants you to know that, like, in a much shorter time than you could possibly conceive of, you're going to have that 10. And you need to release this guilt, these crappy relationships that have worn you down and contributed to you taking this negative energy inwards and really ripping yourself apart, because you're just meant for so much more. You're meant for so much more. And that 10 of Cups, you may feel like, oh, that's nice. That's like my, if I could have anything I wanted, but you say that wistfully. Use the law of attraction to manifest that to you. And the important part about doing that is to recognize that you are manifesting qualities, not a specific person. You're manifesting the qualities, the type of energy that you want to be experiencing in your life, in your lessons, in your relationships. And so if you believe in those I messages, just like you can write letters to do a cord cutting, you can write letters to yourself, lists, goals, manifestations, and mantras, affirmations. So let's go ahead and get some final oracle messages from the Sacred Traveler to see what else Aquarius needs to know as they're wrapping up these heavy karmic cycles. Okay. Wow, you have quite a few, but I'm not surprised. You have so much going on this year. You have 6 messages. All right. First out, ascending the mountain. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. You may not feel like you've been making good ground moving forward this year, but oh my gosh, have you ever? Okay. Wow. Uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. This is you. This is you. And this is a dragon. What do dragons do? They protect their hoard. You are a treasure. Value and protect yourself from those who do not appreciate you. You know, this person may not have respected you or validated you in the way that you needed, but that doesn't change your inherent worth. That does not change your value. Okay, Aquarius? And then we have passion and pleasure. Savor your life. And I think this is an important message through the good times and the bad, practicing gratitude, even for these difficult lessons. Just really, I practice that every day because believe you me, I have had such a difficult time as an Aquarius South Node and being a Leo as your polarity. I've been going through the ringer this year too. And my dear Aquarius friends have really been going through it. And the message here is that this is for soul growth. Savor your life. The journey is part of it. The lessons, all of it, not just the joy. But if we don't experience the breadth of emotions, then we're not capable of identifying the really, really good when it comes in there. And yeah, next message out, enjoy the journey. Wandering path. Yeah, you may feel like, why didn't I take the shortcut where I didn't have to go through the tower like 3 times a month, every month this year, soulmate? Like, what the hell? Well, Spirit knows that you are brilliant, that you have the capacity for amazing, expansive consciousness, Aquarius. And in order for you to be in your power as that amazing and divine being, you have to go through all of these lessons to get there. And you're being asked to enjoy the journey. Part of the journey, Aquarius, is separating yourself from these views of the past and coming into soul consciousness of, this is who I am. These are my salient characteristics. This is who I am that is not going to change. Next out, first light, beginning of a new cycle. And I love it because it's coming out with the death card up there, the tower. Yes, yes, embrace the closure, embrace the beginning of a new beginning. And last but not least, I love this message. My heart is so happy to give this to you as the final message in the reading, my darlings, because I can see how painful this has been. And there have been other things that have happened that are not the central issue here. This karmic relationship is the central issue, that Spirit really wants you, that your guides, the angels, they really want you to do this work so that you can just release it. Miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. And this goes back to my statement about the law of attraction and affirmations and manifestations. This is how it happens. If you believe in the 10 of Cups and you're drawing in the characteristics of its energy, you have to believe in it or it's never going to show up for you. Or if it does, you're not going to be able to recognize it. So don't allow this karmic lesson to change your entire outlook on you for the negative in a limiting way. And if it has, you're being asked to resolve that, because in order for the wondrous to emerge, in order for you to be able to expect it, you have to believe in it. You have to dream it first. All right. So those are my messages for you, my darling Aquarius loved ones. Please comment and let me know how this is playing out for you. Don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe. You can hit the notification bell for updates on the newest uploaded content. You can follow me on social media on Instagram for a more tarot-based experience. I do weekly and weekend tarot spreads for each of the signs there. If you would like Reiki to help you balance and clear your energy and your chakra system through the resolution of these karmic cycles, my email is also in the description box, and you can email me for Reiki. That's an energy exchange between us. That is absolutely free of charge, and I'm always happy if anybody hits me up and would like some Reiki. I'm more than happy to send it to you. If you'd like to schedule a personal reading, that information is in the description box below, as well as the decks of cards that we used in your reading today. So my love is sent to you, Aquarius. I love you so very much, each and every one of you. Beautiful, beautiful souls that all have a great mission here for the rest of us. So please, please, I hope that this reading offered you some hope in resolving these karmic cycles and to believe in miracles and have the 10 of Cups coming in, my darlings. It may not feel like it now, but that's about as good as it gets. So just know, just have faith, just trust that if you cycle through this heavy work, that that's coming in for you. All right. So until next time, my loved ones, I am sending you so much healing, love, and light. Bye-bye.